All right, so first off, the envelopes were very pretty. So I've already used up this one, and so this actually is the lid, and I use the inside of that, which is part of this card. And we'll do that in just a second with that sample. Just wanted to show you. So using up the lid of that envelope and showing you that. Then the base of the envelope, I cut out and got 2 pieces out of that, so I'll be able to make 2 cards with that. And then this one is the lid, which I got these out of, and the butterflies. So butterflies, a layer piece out of those flaps. Okay, so just want to show you those before I get too far down the road here. And then I remember that I had a set, and I've kept it in here, but this was from Everything is Rosy, back when we had Rose in our family, which is quite a little while. But it came with the stamp set. It came with it's called Sweet. So it came with the ribbons, which happened to be the same color as this month, which is navy blue and rose. So this was a matching ribbon. This was a little bit darker because it wasn't quite, we aren't quite in the rose family from the standpoint of the dies, the embellishments that came with that kit were part of this as well. But it was a sweet, but it came with some really cool paper as well, which happened to be in the theme that we were doing. So I was able to kind of pull some scraps from that, and it came with a die set. But you know, keeping that together kind of kept some options as well. But what I wanted to show you, so this is very, very simple, because we got two stamp sets with this. So I took the letters and put those around, did my black for my layer for the base inside and for the outside. And then I had some pieces that were flying around, so I thought I would utilize that and get some other pieces in there. But now that I'm looking at my piece, I could do a balloon, I think, but see how the different color of the daisy and the balloon. Anyhow, so since I just lost my piece in this table, let me go to the next thing. So anyhow, but that will be kind of my simple piece, and I will probably do so I could do just a regular, not doing anything in here other than just a daisy. So did that. Then this one I want to show you kind of my layer. So this is the inside of this for that blue. So then this, I tucked this down. You'll see that this one and this one, I filled in basically that balloon. So it became a lot of balloons with the candle. And then there was, oh, there we go. So I wanted to put, just as a, lives on my desk here, I wanted to put a embellishment right here and here for this, the candle. And I don't have my take my pick on there. So, all right, there. Now I have kind of some bling for that candle. But using the pieces, so I used one of the card bases, took out some of those pieces, took out some of those pieces. Now I can do the layering on this, and it becomes, it's a simple layout, but now I've maximized my pieces so that I have the inside that I can use. Make sure I get the right piece on the right side. So this will be the same size as my card base. Then I'll do my layers. But I'm thinking that, I know it's already September, but the nice thing is that we still have pieces, and I'm sure you have pieces left in your kit. So everything's been layer, but this has more layers probably than I would normally do for a pumpkin, and it's simple. So it just gives us pieces that we are already in the kit, but because of the cutouts, now I have more layers and more dimension in that. This one, very similar. I did some, I had a boo-boo, so I took that cutout, the same color that I had, made a balloon, did the ribbon on there, and popped it right there so I could hide it. And then I just used pieces from our kit to kind of give a little bit of background on that. And this one I haven't cut out yet. And if you haven't gotten this, this is really a great punch, which is the hexagon. And that gives our layers, layers, layers. Okay, so two pieces. One of the things that I was really glad, most of the time the September or the August kit happens to be sometimes Halloween, but this time we had a birthday theme, which was kind of great because I had a ton of birthday cards to make. And so it kind of worked out well and pulled out all of my stash of cards that are birthday themed, and was just able to make a whole bunch of birthday cards, even though there wasn't, I may have not done balloons per se, but I was able to at least get some cards made from this. And with the tumble glue, it does give you some wiggle room that you can do that. So giving us very simple design. Now this is taking some pieces. This is taking pieces and scraps. So these pieces came in the kit, and then I had this as those background pieces. But this triangle was already cut out. Let me show you my alternate design. And see if I can find it fast enough. Oh. All right. Trust me when I say this was an angle piece. You see how this is cut in diagonal? So I already had this scrap. I cut out our pieces for patchwork, had my stamp in there, but I had already glued this down before I wanted to do something here. So I decided that I would use my hexagon, and I have a sentiment, and then I actually cut one of the hexagons out, cut it in half, and then when you layer that, that gives you a layer, because these aren't as important as getting that layer. So now I can put that right there. Those will peek out and hide my boo-boo per se. I'll call it boo-boo. And that way we're able to get some of our mistakes hidden, but it also gets us a layer in using up scrap pieces. I'm not sure about you. I was just doing a some cards for samples of birthday cards, and I'm not sure. I posted something on my Facebook, and I said, you know, I admitted that I probably had a few many pieces of scraps, and so I wanted to kind of use up those scraps. So part of our goal is that these wonderful pieces that come to us already said and done, we tend to hold on to, and then we wind up not in a spot of using them because they are too small, or they're good pieces but we just didn't get to it. Now what I'm going to do is take this rose foil that came in that kit from the suite, and I just want to make some glue dots up here in the corner. Now I know I had 3. I'll do one more. All right. But sometimes if you don't have any type of Where's okay? I had right here. Oh, my pieces, my piece. There it is. I'll just use this for now. I can't find my pick tool. But the die cuts that come in the kit always have great embellishments that you can do with your cards. But if you're trying to get a certain kind of look, sometimes you have to make your own. So I am making, fudge. I'm making my own glue dots that can go on the card. There. And that way this doesn't have any foil. This has foil, but this allows us to get a little bit more dimension on ours without having to do any kind of, what am I trying to say? Oh my gosh. You know, I'm trying to be real precise. There it goes. And I'm losing my concentration. Okay. So, well, I had my pick tool. Now I don't have my pick tool. And so now I am using a X-Acto knife, which is not the right tool. You know how my mom always said, there's always the right tool for the right job. Okay, so what do you think? I can do 2, and I have the flower down here with the dots in. I'm gonna do 3, but I think I'll just do 2. Anyhow, so that's simple design. All right, let me show you a snapshot, which will have one of my alternates I used from that kit and this kit. So stay tuned. Okay, so let's do a puzzle card. And the puzzle fold is, I had Cheryl Stampin' Squad gave this sample, and I took down all the measurements, and I wanted to be able to share it with you and use our kit. So here are the pieces, and I'll try to do a still shot. So you're going to use a card base, and I actually used the color of the Moody Mauve, which is our color in this month, and it's a 9.5 by 4 1/4. It's scored at 1 inch, 2 inch, 7.5, and 8.5. Okay, and then the second piece, it's also in this same theme. It's a 4 1/4 by 5.5, and then we're going to cut it in half, and then each half will have its cut. One cut will be at 3 1/4. Second cut will be at 2 1/4. Okay, and then you're going to need a base, and it's DSP, which is part of the kit as well, and it's 4 by 5 1/4, and then this will just be the inside piece. And then this, even though this has folds in it, I just did using our piece from our kit, and we're going to use it's a 3 7/8. 3 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Gotta make that change. It's 5 1/4. All right, and then we're going to cut it in half, which will be 1 7/8. One half will be cut at 3, and one half will cut at 2. And then these will just be 1 inch. They're actually they're 7/8 each by 4 1/8. So these pieces. Okay, so let's put it together and let's do some cutting and scoring. So this is my first attempt, so we're going to do this before I cut. So we have this piece right here. All right, so we're going to take our folds, and when you're doing dark colors, you want to use the mountainside out and then dial it in. So we're going to fold this all the way in, and then fold this back on itself. Okay, and then we'll fold this one in and fold this back on itself. So it'll stand up like that. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to take our piece. There's no cut on this. But we will glue, and this is going to glue on the inside. But I thought this would be a real good time to do this puzzle card, since there's a lot of pieces in our kit, and we can just use those. And then this is a retired, but because it was matching, I wanted to go ahead and use this for my inside pieces. It kind of gives some pop when you open the card. Plus, I didn't have enough pieces left over from my kit after I did all my alternates. Okay, so there's our pieces. Oh, and then just a regular white that I had cut out from the envelopes. Kept that. That's going to be my centerpiece. Okay, so now let's do this side. Now let's take, this is the one kit, that's the one piece that will match the base, and it's 4 1/4 by 5.5. But we're going to cut it at 2 1/8, which would be half. 2 1/8. Okay. Now 2 1/8. One piece will be cut at 3 1/4. 3 1/4. And then the best way is to keep them in the same order that we cut them. The second piece will be at 2 1/4. That's here, and that's here. Okay, now we'll take this one, the 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to cut it in half, which is 1 7/8. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right. And then this top piece will be cut at 3. This will go right here. This will go right here. And this one will be, did I do that right? Yes. Whew. And at 2. Confusing myself. Mercy. All right. So there's that one. And there's that one. All right. So now let's see how good. This one looks like it's good. This one looks like I'm a little shy. So let me go in and do a little adjustment. And there was so many measurements. I'm glad I didn't get too far off this base. But, yeah, you know, trying to learn something and then do it from scratch. You are literally seeing this live. I was trying to put this together and thinking, okay, well, I think I did pretty good. Well, now I know I didn't. But that's okay. So, perfect. All right, let me get this all glued up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all of my pieces on my designer paper on my cardstock, and now we're going to glue. So I've kept them in the same order and that we have them, and all we're going to do is glue them to here. So this one's going to be our first one, and we're going to glue that right down, just like that, end to end. And then while we're here, we might as well go ahead and get this one down. But I thought it was kind of good with this paper, because now what happens is that the candles kind of are on the same spot. And then this one, we're going to go right, excuse me, right there. And that goes right here. If I hold it down, then I'm going to get it straight, right? Because it's going to have this angle just a little off here, but that's okay. Then this one will go right here. Same thing. We're going to put that right there, and that way I can tighten that up however I want that to be. there. So now I have my puzzle card, right? Look at that. All right, so I want to put some of the pieces that came in the kit on here. So if I use this and my balloon, we can do that. But I also, I think, see, this is going to be a little hard. See, this would be too big. So this is where now the planning and the preparing and how it would actually be. Because remember, if I put this here, it's got to be apart. It's going to take away from this. So I want to make sure it stays in this quadrant. And keeping, see, I used the lost count, but let me see if I can. See, I think Make a Wish needs to go right there. So let me get this on and change my things. Now, navy blue was kind of our pieces, or our color. I know that the piece that comes in the kit, the ink spot is the navy blue. But normally what I do is I try to use my bigger pad because it's better. Since this is the same color that's on the inside, I'm opting to using that. So I think, let me use my, remember with your polymer, you need to have a cushion. So this is just a mouse pad, but I'm going to use this. Okay, and I'll wash that in a second. Put this on, close it so I don't get my ink on me. This is one of the older, the Rock and Locks. So people have a preference in liking that a little better. All right, so we're gonna put it right there, hang that up. But it does, let me close this, put it right there. And then these little cute candles, we're gonna use one of those and put those right, maybe, yeah, okay. That way it kind of hangs off a little bit. So there is my attempt live. I've never done one of these and you saw it firsthand. So this is what they call a puzzle card. Isn't that nice? Very, very nice. Okay, so let me just jump right into my alternates because I'd like for you to see. And what I'll do is, why don't I give you, I'll do this, the still frames, and that way it's kind of easier to look at just the layout, and I'll be right back. Well, I have a couple more pieces to go from this kit, so I don't have any leftovers. But the still frames give you kind of the snapshot, but some of them don't do justice laying flat. So I wanted to show you kind of the gate card, and just using the piece that I wasn't a fan of having the whole thing fan out when they had this bent and so forth. So I just used the pieces and the balloon and kept that. So I did the gate card. And then the book bind, where you do the 8.5 cut by 4 1/4, and that way it becomes either portrait or landscape. What then you do is that you then have, this is one of the card pieces in the kit, then I did my score, and here's where I made the mistake. So you can see that I just scored both together, but my bend, which is fine, but it would have been better if I would have cut that and made that a piece all by itself. So my error, but it was already made. But this is the book bind where you just glue this down, and it would have been nice to have some of the twine through there as well, other than here. So there's a book bind. this was the piece I was looking for, where I had taken that angle piece, and then here's that cutout piece that I was able to use, and that came in handy because this looks like the white is the layer, but it's not. It's actually the frame of this blue. So that makes it kind of nice for dimension, because it looks like the white is my layer, but it's not. It's just a blue frame. So this became the hooray, which we made with our pieces. When you pull out the hooray, it leaves the negative. So so there's the hooray, the sticker, but then it left this negative, and so I just fussy cutted that out, so then you get kind of another layer of that. So that kind of made for a nice inside card. And then this is just kind of a fun fold, and it's easy enough because you just make one score. You just do your 5.5, and then just fold this back on itself. And then when you come out, you still can have the inside, but when it's closed, it actually conceals the inside of that. So anyhow, just wanted to show some of the extra ones. And of course, don't forget our wonderful puzzle card that we got. So that we made today. So hopefully you enjoyed just a little bit of extras and seeing those still shots, getting some of the ideas. Do it the right way. And I think this might be one of those refills, because we were able to get a whole lot of cards out of this, and hopefully these are some of the ideas that came in the kit, as well as bringing some extras, old friends from the retired kit. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you don't have a subscriber, then subscribe today so we get some more inspiration. And it is a challenge when it comes in late, because then I can't get it to you in time. So anyhow, it's a wonderful treat to be able to share in this workshop and share ideas, and hopefully you have some scraps and you can take some of these ideas and make them your own. If you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be that for you and be able just to share, as well as these wonderful products. Over and over I hear from customers just the quality that we're able to get with these. So have a great day, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now.